I think we're good. Which way do these go? This way or this way?
You can put them each way. If that's easier for you, that way, because the cord's going the other way.
Yeah, I think this way's a bit more comfortable.
Beautiful, man. So welcome back to the podcast, Fanos. A lot has happened since you were here last,
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, just a week before the US elections, you came in and we broke down Flat Earth, which was a big topic, and that was a pretty successful podcast. A lot of people watched it. And but before we get into a lot of the saucy stuff that's been happening, I actually wanted to get my audience to know you, like how you became the person you are today. And you're a person that was fighting for the rights of everyday Victorians, man, during the worst lockdowns in the world, because we got affected the worst out of everybody. How did it all start out?
Okay, so what makes me who I am?
How did it all start out?
All right, so back in 2020, when all this stuff sort of kicked off, it was, dude, honestly, in the very beginning, I thought, so it was a virus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, very many unsuspecting victims out there. And I was fully into, I don't like to use the word conspiracy theory.
A lot of conspiracy theories have come true, man.
I like to use the word, if we're going to use the word conspiracy theorist, let's use the term loosely in terms of the overwhelming belief that we're being lied to through every level, through every facet of our lives, within every instance of our lives. It's all one big lie. To question everything and never just take everything with a grain of salt, in terms of especially what comes from credible sources. I was well across, the Illuminati, Bilderberg Group,
Trilateral Commission.
Trilateral Commission, the Bloodlines, Redwood Forest in California or whatever it was. Is it Redwood Forest?
That's the
that's where they're Bohemian Grove.
Grove. Yeah, that's right.
The satanic rule, all the satanic symbolism in movies, all the satanic symbolism across everything from science to all that type of stuff. So I was well across all of that, and Flat Earth as well. I was well across all of that before all of this kicked off.
Wow. That's excellent.
So 2020 comes, and I'm teaching security at the time, and they're talking about a virus and this and that, and we need to be careful when touching people and all this other rubbish.
You're on 60 Minutes.
We'll get to that.
Okay, all right, no.
We'll get to that.
No worries.
So we see what's going on, and in the very beginning, I was like, there's a virus, this and that, and then one day I was in class and I had my students there and whatever else, and we got to the point that I had to teach self-defense and the students couldn't touch each other.
What?
Yeah, and I had to pass them. I had to teach them how to restrain people without being able to touch the other person.
You have to be very polite.
So they literally were practicing with, I don't know, anything that they could hold, but that wasn't another person.
Wow.
It was bizarre, right? It was like being in this...
Sounds very bizarre.
Bizarre, tripped out world. Guys, before we continue, check out Billionaire's podcast. You can follow him on Instagram.
It's on YouTube as well, just Billionaire Podcast.
Let's get over there and give the man who's putting all this work in to, getting the word out there for many people.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Let's get the word out there and get some follows over there. So basically, where was I?
You're just talking about the training people with security. No one's allowed to touch them.
Yes. So I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at my computer, and I'm looking for this virus thing, and I wanted to see the cases.
The Wuhan virus.
Yeah, the Malakia virus. So I wanted to see the cases.
Of course.
So I look up, there's this thing you could look up on, I don't know what it was this website, and it showed the cases. Yeah. And the thing I found interesting, it was like in where it had started, it had a certain number, but then there was no numbers anywhere in China around where it started. But then there was cases in Italy, and then there was cases...
Oh, that's right, Italy copped it straight away.
Yeah, and then there was cases in 3 or 4 other places. I'm like, hang on, if this thing is meant to be spreading from where it started, why is there localized cases here and here, and the countries that are directly next to this country don't have any cases?
It's weird, huh?
So that was the first thing, and I did a video about it.
Yep.
And the video overnight had like 5,000 views or something on it, and I was like,
of course,
that's bizarre.
Yeah, and people are looking for answers. People are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I remember when it first happened, and me and my mate were just look, Kamal, he was on the flat Earth one. We were just laughing, like, look at another malaki. How bad is this one gonna get? And it got pretty bad.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we were laughing at the same. We're laughing. We're like, look at this.
Everyone was just. It was almost like a surreal experience that it wasn't even happening, And when it first kicked off, it was like, shit, something's actually happening here.
Yeah.
And these guys, like, the government's getting serious about this shit. Like, we're going to have to, we can't leave the hook.
Well, they got behind it in lockstep.
Yeah.
And lockstep's a special word.
We'll go.
Special
word. Let's.
I've known about that word since 2010, mate.
Let's talk about the Rockefeller Foundation document.
I've got the blueprints here if you want to bring it up,
mate. Yes, we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah.
Where you at?
So I noticed that it didn't seem right, whatever else, and I did the live, and then it wasn't a live actually. No, I just put a video out.
Yeah.
And I saw this massive amount of views on it. Within 24 hours, like 5,000 views. And that was unheard of. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely unheard of. The most I have on a picture or whatever else with 2 likes and, like a standard Facebook account.
Yeah.
So I started, doing a video here and there and
started blowing up.
Yeah, it started to gain traction. And then when I saw it starting to get serious, I said, mate, what are we going to do about this? Are we actually just going to sit there and let these people do whatever they want to us? Or are we actually going to do something? And people said, start a Facebook group and we'll join it. And then before I knew it, I started this Facebook group, and within 24 hours, I think there was like 1,000 people in it.
Wow. That's fast.
It was ridiculous.
It's nuts.
It was ridiculous. The rate of growth with that group was ridiculous. It was like, I think within 2 months, there was maybe 30,000 people in it.
Oh.
At the time it got shut down, there was 70,000 people in that Facebook group.
And it got shut down just because they didn't want you to have a voice.
Well, so here's the interesting thing, right? All of this kicked off because I came home from work one day and I saw what was going on, and I just sat on I literally just sat on the couch at home. I can still visualize it. I sat on the couch at home. It was the couch on the far left of my living room. And I said, mate, what am I going to do? I'm just one guy.
Yeah.
What am I possibly going to achieve? I'm just one guy. And something in me said, just keep doing videos and people will listen. Just keep putting yourself out there and people will listen. So I did. I just kept doing one after the other and speaking my mind, and one after the other. And then before I knew it, I had all of these people in a Facebook group and all these people were messaging me, and but it really didn't actually solidify to become anything that was tangible until I still remember the guy who sent me the message.
Yeah.
Darko, if you're out there, I don't remember what your surname was, Darko, on Facebook, but you sent me a message on Messenger.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah. And
Darko.
He said, mate, you're not going to do anything. You're like everyone else. You just all talk. You're not going to do anything. That's what he said to me.
You know what? When people do that shit, that's the best shit, mate, because that just gives you the fucking fire. Sorry for swearing, guys. Sorry for swearing.
No, we're swearing. That's all good.
Yeah. It gives you the inner fire that you need to overcome any insecurities that you have, mate.
100%.
And you go.
100%.
It's the best thing.
So I said, you know what? This guy's right. How do I expect other people to do anything if I'm not going to lead by example?
100%.
So I literally got on social media within half an hour of reading that message. And I said, guys, I'm going to the Parliament House right now. Who's coming with me? Right this second, I'm going to the Parliament House.
Beautiful.
If you want change, let's do it right now. Get to the Parliament House. I'm going to be there within 1 hour.
Mad.
I literally put my jacket on, left the house, went straight to the train station, got straight on the train, went straight to Parliament Station.
Yeah.
Truth be told, though, there was a moment when I was standing on the platform and I second-guessed whether I was going to get on the train. You see what I mean? That there's a crossroad. Like there's honestly a crossroad where you can choose, and there's two separate paths that will open up at that moment. And I said, nah, get on the fucking train. So I got on, sat down, got up at Parliament Station. I thought I was going to rock up. There was going to be no one there. There was like 9 people there. And I think it was any more than 10 at a gathering.
Yeah.
And it was an illegal gathering. So it was one below.
So it was still legal.
It was one below, a illegal gathering.
Not that it mattered.
No, it didn't matter.
But it
didn't matter. But it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there in front of 2 PSA officers in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then it became 4 PSA officers. Then it became like 4 police officers. And before we knew it, there was probably 8 people there. And there was a live that went on social media.
Yeah.
At the time, it went live on Facebook. And it all sort of just cascaded from there. And then it just became this ridiculous thing where people just started to know me like everywhere.
Mm.
And I did not get on social media so I can be known. I didn't get on social media because I wanted to.
You didn't do it for clout. You did it for change.
Let me give you an example. I had my Facebook group with 70,000 people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know when I turned on my follow on my personal account? After the first Facebook group got shut down, and then I started the second one.
Yeah.
I realized that people can follow me, and I actually went on the search engine and I said, "How do you get people to follow you on Facebook?" And I turned it on.
Beautiful. I think I was waiting for a while there.
That's when it first, honestly, that's when it first happened. But everything just happened organically. I didn't try to do anything. I even had a lady, shout out to Haley. Haley said to me, she said, the fact that you were able to create such a large following and such a large audience in a group in that short amount of time. She said people spend thousands and thousands of dollars to gain that traffic to be able to create that, and you created that organically. And I said, I didn't try it. Just all of this just happened.
You just being yourself, mate.
Yeah, well, all of it just happened. Yeah, I didn't choose it. It just happened.
Sometimes things choose you.
100%.
And sometimes God works. This is how God works. You know what I mean?
100%.
You just got to listen to what God's telling you to do.
Well, I like how you said that because I always credited everything that was happening at the time and every speech that I ever said in front of a large amount of people, and I spoke in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
I saw you do that.
Yeah.
I saw you do that.
In Melbourne, in Canberra, in Sydney. And every single time I didn't organise what I was going to say. I did dot points, but the delivery was not practiced. It was just whatever it was. And I'd always credit everything that was happening. It was like, I honestly knew that what I was doing had nothing to do with me and everything to do with what God wanted me to do.
See,
do you know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Because it was organic. I didn't try to make any of this stuff happen. It just
naturally, man.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Beautiful. It's really beautiful.
And at the same time, it's a little bit surreal. Like even to today, going back, it's still surreal that actually happened. And not only did it happen, out of 26 million fucking people in the country, I was part of a small handful.
Minute amount of people, tiny.
And of that small handful, I was one of the very first to gain public attention across not only Australia, the world at the time, for what had transpired with what I'd done. And I thought, me of all people.
It must have felt like a dream or something, huh?
Yeah, I would have thought there's so many personalities out there. Are you kidding me? I was the one.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. You know what I mean? Because I don't hold myself in high regard and stuff like that. Like, I have positivity with myself and, I believe in myself and whatever else, but I don't have myself on a pedestal that I'm that type of person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon you did a great job, mate, given your circumstances and what you've done. At the start of 2020, you did, I was going to ask you, your interactions with the mainstream media.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yep.
You were in
Turn the cameras off. Yeah, watch everyone cut this now and say Fanos gets asked the hard question and he's saying turn the cameras off.
So you were in Family Food Fight, which was a kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
It looked like you had fun there and everything was great. That was before COVID.
I wasn't even meant to be on it.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, that's funny. But,
I'll tell you what happened with that.
Yeah, tell me.
So the whole thing happened that my brother, my sister, and my dad were originally asked to be on the show.
Cool.
And they were meant to be on with another close family member, but not immediate family.
Yep.
We can call it a cousin. And something just transpired before we were going to be filming whatever else, and we had to switch someone over. And I heard they were going on television, but I thought it was like on Channel 31 or something. It was going to be some B-rate.
Family Food Fight. You don't think much. You're like, oh yeah, Channel 31 SBS.
Yeah. I thought it was just, some B-rate. I wasn't really my...
What channel was it on?
It was on Channel 9.
Oh, Channel 9.
Yeah. So I think they were 2 weeks away from starting, and then I get a phone call while I'm... I remember I was teaching in... I think it was Thomastown around there. No, I was teaching in Epping. I was teaching security in Epping.
Yep.
And I get a phone call. My brother calls me mid-class, and I go, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He goes, we're going on the show. I go, "Yeah." He goes, "We sort of need to see if you'd be available." I go, "What do you mean be available?" And he goes, I can't do it. We need to see somebody can step in." They go, "Obviously, you know how to cook. You want to come on the show with us?" And I was like, "Mate," I go, "how am I going to bloody get on? I haven't friggin' organised nothing." I go, "I'm teaching whatever else." And my boss at the time, I told him, and he goes, "Mate, you have to do it." My boss said, he goes, "You have to do it." He goes, "Fanos, don't worry, there'll be a job for you when you're done.
Yeah.
You have to do it. You'll regret this opportunity if you don't take it. Just go for it." And then 2 weeks later, I was bloody sitting on a film set at Royal Melbourne show at the showroom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I cooked heaps of stuff, man. So I don't cook desserts, yeah.
Oh no, that's how you cooking desserts.
And of all the things I ended up actually cooking, I actually ended up cooking most of the desserts. Yeah, I cooked other stuff as well.
Of course, it has to go that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. I cooked other stuff as well.
Yeah.
But most of the things I was cooking, I cooked like galato purico and puff pastries and all this shit that I'd never cooked before. And,
because you Greek, it's in the blood.
Yeah, I just practiced, while we were, not filming or else, I was practicing everything.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then I was just, executing it.
Yeah.
During the show and whatever else. And but yeah, it was a shit experience. I'd never do it again.
Fair enough.
Never do it again. We almost walked off set on day 2.
Oh wow! So it wasn't a positive experience.
Oh no! We almost walked off set on day 2.
Yeah.
Because they were treating all the families like crap. They weren't.
Are you
serious? They had
this? Wow.
The green room barely had fresh food in it or anything else. It
so
was sandwiches.
They want you to cook food and then they're not even.
Oh yeah, they mate. We almost did like a union thing when we said, "Guys, you're not happy here." We literally had like a standoff with production on day 2. We're going to leave, man. We were freezing our asses off filming.
They're making you cook out the burko, then they're giving you their sandwiches.
This was before.
Sandwiches.
No, this was before that. This was before all that. This was on day 2.
Yeah.
And they I just lost my train of thought. So they were getting us to cook, be in summer clothes in the middle of winter. So we're in a warehouse in the middle of winter.
Because they're going to film it for summer.
And we were wearing summer clothes. So all the girls and stuff were freezing. They weren't keeping our jackets nearby and everything when they were rolling. And we said, "Mate, like the grandma from the Italian team was freezing her ass off. We go, get her a jacket. Where's everyone's jackets? Why are they miles away?" So there was a full protest and everything else. And so you can see protesting.
Yeah, blood. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that was basically it, man. And it was 16 weeks or whatever else. And it's funny that all that happened, and then all this happened, because it was like the media ate it up. They're like, "Oh, ex-bloody blah 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 has gone off the rails, blah blah blah." And mate, they were loving it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I was on it. But let me just tell you something about that. So halfway through filming, probably on day 3. I looked at our shirts, and it said family food fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said family food fight. F. And they didn't have family food fight. They had triple F. And then what's the numeric equal of an F? 6. 6.
Are you serious?
6.
They're making you wear Satan's shirt. Oh my God, he's got goosebumps, everybody. He's got goosebumps all over his massive forehead.
I realised that we had 3 friggin' 6s in a numeric equal.
Oh my brother,
on the front of our things.
What did you do?
Oh, mate.
Rip off the shirt?
Oh, mate, we were just, I'm like, this is, and then I realised that it's everywhere. So the MasterChef logo is also a 666. Because if you look at the MasterChef logo, it's got an M with a circle around it. Oh, but if you put that on its side, it's a 3 with a 6 around it.
What's going on with all these cooking shows, man?
Yeah.
It's satanic.
So that's what happened with
far out.
With that part of my life. Yeah.
So your first interaction with the media, mainstream media, really.
Oh yeah. Look, there was some positives to the experience as well. You know, it wasn't all totally negative. But would I do it again? No. And now, especially with the way I feel about that part of our society, where it's all basically completely overrun by evil. I'd never ever associate with that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And what about in 2020 when you had the chance to go on 60 Minutes? How was
that?
I
did. I went on.
Yeah. Oh, you went on. They asked you. They asked you to go on.
So I'll explain how that went about.
How that worked.
Okay.
I watched that just before, and
I'll explain to you how that went about. Was that before or after I was arrested for protesting? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
So what happened was I had someone call me on my phone and they said, "Oh, my name's blah blah blah. I'm a producer for 60 Minutes." I thought it was full of shit. I go, "Yeah, man, no, he's actually a producer. Like seriously."
Yeah.
He goes, "No, we actually are." And he goes, "Mate, we'd like to get you on, give you a side of the story." And I was like, "Listen, mate, I don't communicate with the media. I don't want anything to do with you guys. See you later." And I got the phone.
Yeah.
2 days later, calls me again. I said no. And then I think it was 2.5 weeks went by and 3 weeks went by. And the project had asked me for comments as well. You know the project?
Yeah, I know the project.
So they sent me something on Facebook or whatever else. And I said, "Listen, man, I have no comment. I don't want to speak about it." And then the project did a hit piece about me.
Of course they did.
And at the end they said, "We asked Fanos for comment." And he didn't. He said he chose not to comment.
To make you look like a villain.
So I realised that whether I say anything or not, they're going to talk shit about me anyway. I said, so I might as well have a say in it. So what happened was with the 60 Minutes thing, he called me a third time 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And this was after the hit piece that the project did about me.
Yeah.
And I realised, I go, "Man, they're going to talk shit about me whether I say anything or not. So I might as well get a word in edgewise."
100%.
So, because on the third time, I said to the producer of 60 Minutes, "No, I'm not interested." And then I rang him back 20 minutes later, and I thought, because after that, I thought about it.
Yeah.
And I said, "You know what? Just fucking do it." Sorry, guys, didn't mean to swear.
No.
I don't usually swear.
No, he doesn't.
It's not something I usually do. That's basically what happened with that. And you know what? People speak about payment. Apparently,
money they get money or
$60,000 to do 60 Minutes. Apparently,
$60,000.
So I'm gonna lay it all on the table now. I'm gonna tell everyone the truth. Everyone's gonna hear exactly what I got for the shoot. You ready? I got a toasted cheese and tomato sandwich from the cafe up the road, and wait for it, a coffee.
Did they put any sugars in it? That's what I got. Yeah. Well,
may God strike me down right now if I'm lying with an illness that's unspeakable. If I got anything else other than a coffee and a toasted sandwich.
How the hell did you 60 Minutes have
and it was a shit toasted sandwich.
Just so coffee as well.
It wasn't great.
No,
it was terrible.
How the hell do people think that the 60 Minutes crew got $60,000 to give you? They're running on bare bones these days. No one's watching them. Everyone's on podcasts. Joe Rogan gets 20 million views. Man. They get maybe 30,000 views.
They get nothing.
They do anything to get a view, these guys. Man.
Oh, 100%.
You know, that's probably them maxing out their budget, giving you a toasty and a coffee.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I was surprised I thought I was going to have to pay for the toasted sandwich when I was doing the coffee.
Yeah, they're running on bare bones, man. So, yeah, I think the people that think that you got paid out mega bucks to do that, I think they're a little bit crazy in their head.
Yes, 100%.
Because mainstream media don't do that. They expect you to do everything for free. That's just how they are.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. But then there was rumors that circulated that I was giving all this money. I go, you know what? If you're gonna accuse me of it, at least let me have had the money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That would have been very, very welcome in my circumstance at the time.
I bet.
So yeah, that's basically what happened with the interview with 60 Minutes. And
did you like them? Did everything go all right like you planned? Did they do a hit piece on you?
They tried to. They tried to do an edit.
Yeah.
But I kept it smart with the way I did it.
You did. I watched it and I'm just like, you kept it very smart. And then they put some goose microbiologist guy on it after.
Yeah. He looks like he's never brushed his teeth.
Nah, and he's got all these facial patches. Like the guy's obviously not healthy at all. And I didn't even understand what he was saying, so I just turned it off, man. But
and then they also had a social. What were they? A social scientist that's an expert at human interaction or something.
Yeah.
And the person who was actually on there looked like they couldn't hold a conversation to hold their life in front of a real person. And I was like, man, have a look at the experts that they've got on. And Pete Evans was on that.
I saw that show. What do you think of Pete Evans, man?
I think, mate, I like the phrase, or the term, judge people by the fruit they bear.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And you can see how much he got put through the ringer.
He got crucified, man.
If he was anything other than sinister, other than anything else, then
they wouldn't have gone after him like that.
No, he would have kept all of his following and kept all of his...
Exactly.
If anything, he would have skyrocketed in popularity. Makes sense?
Because it was an Aussie that was coming out. They went hard on him, man.
100%.
So hard. I like him. I was still following his email requests. Yeah. Everyone was telling me that he's a lunatic, and I just shut my mouth during that time, and I just wouldn't comment on it. But I would be on his email list. I'd be watching his stuff, and I'm just like, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
I made a habit of never talking shit about anyone the whole time. I had people sending me messages on Facebook. I don't trust this dude. He can't be trusted. Oh, you don't know this guy. He's a this, he's a that. I go, I never ever, unless I'd seen something with my own eyes and experienced it within my own...
First hand.
I didn't say shit about anyone. I always gave everyone the benefit of the doubt of who they were and what their intentions were.
We don't know people.
We
don't know people's situation. You know what I mean? We don't know what people are going through. It's a bit hard to just categorize someone.
100%.
Just because someone says something. It's Chinese whispers.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
and I went through the ringer myself in terms of how many people pointed the finger at me. It's like, how do you just come out of nowhere and have all these people know you are and this following whatever else? And it's like, you're clearly a plan, you're clearly this, you're clearly that. And it was a perfect representation of, I know how I went through everything in terms of how wrong people got me.
Yeah.
And who were talking shit about me. There was actually a guy who had it out for me hard. And he owned this Facebook group that was actually had quite a large following, and he'd done heaps of stuff on me. And he actually...
all hit pieces and stuff?
Yeah, he actually turned around and sent me a private message and apologised.
Are you serious?
And do you know what actually made him apologise?
What?
I did. I spoke to someone during an interview, and I spoke about Flat Earth, and I spoke about the Bible.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, fuck, bro. He goes, I had you so wrong. He goes, I didn't think that you were all about that stuff at all. And he goes, I apologise.
Yeah.
And I just said, listen, man. I go, apology and apology, all good, water under the bridge. It is what it is. Don't be so quick to judge people. But that's actually what
that's crazy.
Turned him around.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I didn't...
Funny how things work.
No, I never... And, bro, he made my life fucking...
living
hell, man. Like, he put me through some serious...
Or was he just doing serious trolling?
Oh, he had a Instagram page and a Facebook group, and I don't remember what it was called, but it had quite a large following.
Yeah. Well, how funny is that? He turned around and he...
Yeah, inadvertently, I didn't even, it wasn't my intention. I was speaking about it, and that was what turned him around. Because I spoke about that, and then I started talking about the existence of God and how can you, and all of that, and he was like, oh, yeah, this guy's not what I think he thought he was at all.
I think people can jump to conclusions and say, oh, this person's a plant, this person's a CIA, this person's a part of ASIO.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hang on a second, like, what are you doing to help the cause?
Yeah.
And it's just like what I'm doing here. Yeah. All this has cost me so much money, 100%. Right? And I'm not doing this for anything else than just to help the people gain consciousness, to rise to another level, to realize that we have the power. That's the only reason why I do this, yeah? This is like a little side thing for me, and I'm building this up while still working a full-time job and managing all these other things. But, you know, like, I haven't had people say that about me yet.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows? But I'm going to read comments.
The better you get at your job, and the more people you have following you, and the more traction you start getting, you know, when you start becoming well-known, when people go out their way to talk shit about you, and even more than that, go out their way to create whole bits of content attacking your character. Yeah. No one's going to invest time and their energy, their precious time and energy that they could be doing anything else, and it's focused on the destruction of you. You know that you are creating some type of traction.
If that comes one day, it'll come.
No, it'll come.
I'll probably ask you some advice.
just swear and be angry and just
water off a duck's back, man. I don't read comments and stuff. I barely I barely do that already now. So
yeah, good.
I just don't have time.
Don't
have time. I'm too busy like learning how to edit, learning how to make reels, learning how to do all this stuff. Put a whole studio together by myself. You know, this is kind of where I spend most of my time.
Remember, every waterfall starts with one drop, mate.
That's true. It's very true.
Every waterfall.
That's awesome. Going back to the COVID days, the lockdowns.
Yeah. Should we stop it here and say, guys, if you want to hear the rest of this fantastic little chat, you'll have to tune in to the Billy on Air podcast.
This episode will come out next week, and you'll be able to watch it on my channel, Billionaire Podcast on YouTube. And you'll be able to watch the rest of it. We might go for another hour or something. So
easily.
There's plenty of content that you'll watch. So if you like my Instagram page, billionaire.podcast, give Fanos some love. And later in the week, you'll be able to watch the full podcast that'll get released probably on next Wednesday or something.
All right. And so what was the question you're going to ask?
I was going to ask you about your treatment by Victoria Police.
So I would tell Billy what I'm about to say, but we need to end this live first, and then we'll get into it. Guys, to see the rest of this episode, get on to the Billionaire Podcast.
Thank you, guys.
When's that getting released?
This Wednesday, most likely next Wednesday. So probably in 4 or 5 days it'll get released.
Awesome. And guys, give Billy a follow, man. All you need to do is go to his page and press the follow button.
It doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost you anything. And, support a, fellow truther out there who's invested. Look at this setup, man. Like, seriously, look at this setup.
I'll remember you people. You guys will be the day one people. I'll remember you.